What's going on, guys? Matt here with T&M Product Reviews, coming back at you. We've been going for a while, but we definitely have some more items to review, and we're going to be starting a new series on some RCs here. So let's get started. Today we're going to be looking at the Traxxas TRX4 Sport. So this is kind of the baseline for Traxxas Sport series. I went with this one. This is kind of a blank slate per se. I know they have the Bronco, the newer and the older one. They have a Chevy body, Blazer, and then they have the Defender series. So it's kind of like and then they have the TRX6. So 6x6. But we got the TRX4 Sport in the Desert Tan. And then, like I said, this is kind of Traxxas's base model for their crawler series, and this is the one I decided to go with. So we're going to go over the truck, what it comes with initially. I've done a couple upgrades to it. I got a couple clips here I'll show you of the truck running, and let's just get started here. So like I said, TRX4 Sport, I've done a bunch of upgrades to it already. Still got some plans in the works of what I want to do to it in the future. But basically what you get with the Sport is they got rid of the 2-speed transmission. It has a single speed locked in transmission, whereas like the Bronco and the Defender come with a 2-speed transmission that's selectable on the controller. This one's just got a single speed. It also got rid of the lockers in the front and rear axles. So whereas in the Defender and the Bronco, you could choose when the lockers were activated in the axles, this one here is always locked in. So you have power to the four wheels at all times. Other than that, everything else is fairly close to being the same. Obviously, bodies are different. The new 21 Bronco has a cruise control option, so that's kind of cool when you don't get it on this, but do you really need cruise control? I mean, I guess if you're trailing, sure. And then it also has a clipless body, so this one still has the regular body clips. So, and I think the body's harder. It's like solid. It's not the like Lexan style that most RCs are. So with this one here, it's just a basic truck body. No real brand to it. I said it kind of looks like a Toyota, like a TRD almost. It comes with stickers for the black fenders. If you want them to be color matched, they're already painted the same as the body. My camera will focus here. Sorry guys, I put a different lens on it and it is just being really weird. But you can put these black stickers on it to make it look like you have fender wells or fender extensions, wells, whatever you want to call it. Other than that, just a plain Jane RC body. And then for the truck itself, so I don't have it up here with me. When you purchase any of the Traxxas TRX4s, it comes with a Traxxas 550 brushed motor and speed controller. I've since swapped that out for a hobby wing, and we'll go over that whenever we get around to it here. But if you look on the bottom here, so it's got portal axles. I'll probably just hold it this way. So the pumpkin sits up higher than the actual lug for the tires themselves, so you get a little more ground clearance. Aluminum shocks all the way around. It comes with plastic bumpers. I'll get into the bumpers I have once we get there. So it comes with plastic bumpers. I have the fender liner set on mine. So that doesn't come stock. Those are upgrades as well. And that's really it. I mean, you just get a basic, capable crawler. For a beginner just trying to get into crawling, which I really am. I've never owned a rock crawler. This is my first one. It's a good start, I feel. It's right there with a couple of the Axials. There's a couple other companies that make them. I think Sen makes one. Red Cat makes a few crawlers. So it's kind of right there on that base level. You get a Do I have one laying around here? I don't think I have a Traxxas controller laying around. Hold on one second here. I might. Yeah, here we go. This is actually the controller that comes with it. So when you get the TRX4 Sport, you get the basic Traxxas TQ controller. Now this is not the TQI, so it doesn't have the Bluetooth link module in it. It's just a basic TQ controller. Nothing crazy. You get your steering, throttle, brake, reverse, and a come on, camera. And it has a switch for your steering trim. That's it. Nothing crazy. Now what I've gone and done is actually switched out the receiver for a Spectrum. This has a SR515 in it, so it's a 5-channel, and I've connected it to a DX5 Rugged, which I run all my cars on now. Well, I will have 3 of them on it. I still have one I'm probably not going to put on this because I also have a Traxxas Revo 3.3 Nitro that I don't know if I want to put on this. I kind of like that link feature. This will be another review coming up. Love that controller. So with the, let me take my battery out here. So upgrade wise, what I've really been able to sit and do to this so far, I got a bunch of Racing parts. I got a couple parts from Hot Racing, Hobby Wing, and just kind of made this truck kind of my style per se. So I started off, like I said, with the Traxxas inner fender liners. These do accept the rock lights, so you can put rock lights the whole way around it. And then they have a extended like rubber piece that goes on it. I have it, didn't care for it, so those came off. The wiring's a mess right now, but we'll go over why. I gotta tidy it up, but it's okay for now. I went with a Hobby Power servo in the front to give it a little more torque. This one is, I believe, a 35. Let's see if I can see one in here. No, sorry, it's an EcoBoost, not a Hobby Power, EcoBoost. I believe it's a 35 gram servo. So give it a little bit more torque in the front end over the Traxxas stock servo that's in it. The Spectrum 51 or 515 5-channel receiver. And then for Racing, we'll start on the bottom here. Real simple upgrade. I did the Racing aluminum drive shafts, front and rear. So sturdy those up over the plastic Traxxas drive shafts that it comes with. They're nice. They slip on both sides, so it's easy to work on. If you just pop a couple screws out and move the wheel out of the way, they pop out real easy. Inside the transmission, I switched out to a 45 tooth Hot Racing steel spur gear, and that's linked up to a 12 tooth pinion gear that's on the Hobby Wing motor that I chose. Also went with a Racing Tornado dual fan aluminum heatsink. The Hobby Wing that I got for the motor is the Axe 550. It's a 3300 kV motor from, it's the EX Run series. It's a censored motor. And I got it as a kit. It came with the Axe brushless ESC as well. This ESC is awesome. It's Bluetooth, so you can download the Hobby Wing Link app on your phone. You can change all the parameters for the motor, the speed controller right there. You can change the back. It's nice because I have a few Spectrum brand cars because I have a couple Armas, and you have to use Spectrum's programming box to actually link to the ECS. So that's pretty cool. Also took out the factory plastic battery compartment, put in a Racing lower center of gravity aluminum one. Now with that, see, it's going to be a little hard to see here, but because I run, right now I'm running Z Racing battery, or Z Racing, Z LiPo batteries. So this is a 3S 8000 mAh 100C battery. It was a little too big for the battery tray. It hit the back cross member right here, so I actually took a Dremel and dremeled out the back cross member so that the battery would fit in. So we changed that, and then the last thing we really did was wiring. So for the Hobby Wing ECS, the fan does not come with a connector, or isn't powered by the speed controller. You have to power it separately. So I wired that in with the fans for the battery, or the motor cooler. And then the last upgrade I did was Racing's front and rear aluminum bumpers. So these are full aluminum. They have the aluminum D-links. It has the ball hitch on it, which I may take that off. I just put it on because it was there. And then in the front, it's got the typical like Jeep style, what I consider a Jeep style bumper with the big arch. Same thing, it's got the aluminum D-links. Also has mount points for a winch if I decide to get one in the future. But then it also has front and rear white lights. They're not like red and white, it's all white. So they're all wired in. I have those right now on my ECS, or on my Spectrum receiver. They will change eventually to being powered separately, but until I decide to actually cut into or solder into a power line to add those in by themselves, that's where they're going to stay. And then I just have them on quick disconnects. The extra wires are just because I wasn't sure how I wanted to run the wires for it yet, but this is kind of where we ended up for now. Now that's not the last upgrade. I guess I lied there. I did do one more upgrade to this. But let me throw a battery in it here. So when you purchase the TRX4, it comes with Traxxas's Canyon Trail 1.9 tires. And I'm not saying these are bad tires at all. I ran them for a couple small obstacles, climbing over like parking barriers and stuff. And they work. They're not a bad tire. Plastic wheels, and they are glued. So what I decided to do instead was get a set of these Method, see if I can get them in there. There we go. Method beadlock wheels and tires. So these are officially licensed Methods. A pain in the butt to put together, but they're really nice. And then on those I put the Proline Hyrax 1.9 crawler tires with the Proline dual stage foam. So it's got a softer outer foam, a little stiffer inner foam, and then the Method wheels have a plastic centerpiece that goes through them. That's really it. I have a baseline crawler that's fairly capable of light obstacles, nothing crazy. We're gonna play some videos here at the end just so you can get an idea what it looked like. I took it out to a second property and just did a little trail driving and crawling up over some wood that's left from a wood pile and a dirt pile that's there, and just get an idea. Now mind you, that is with the Traxxas brushed motor. I don't have any new video of the Hobby Wing. It just went in last night, so it's running. I just don't have a video of it yet, so that'll come in the future. So if we turn the truck on, it's gonna get loud, but I just want to show you here the Racing. There's your front or your rear lights, and then your front lights, which are fairly bright. They're not bad. They definitely light up the way if you're trail running at night. I do still want to get the rock lights for in it. I also want to get the Traxxas Pro LED kit to do all of the LEDs in the body. So we'll have headlights and tail lights, and maybe a top mount for it as well, which I think that'll be pretty cool. I might also do the rack that they make for the back. Not sure yet. I don't know if I care for the higher center of gravity that it creates, but I might, and get the scene lights for around it. It's kind of deck this truck out. I'm still deciding if I want to lift it or if I want to leave it at the same ride height. Definitely need to change out something. I noticed with these high rack tires that when the suspension is dropped and I'm turning, they're definitely rubbing the body. So I don't know if I need to change my spring rate on it, if I need to put different shock oil in it to make it a little stiffer. Something we need to figure out. It definitely stays when you drop it, especially to the driver's side, it stays where it is. The passenger side comes up pretty easily, but the driver's side kind of leans. So a couple adjustments need made to it. But for it being my first crawler, it's definitely capable. Come on, camera. I will have to get this camera issue sorted out before the next video here. So why don't let me put up some video clips here of this truck running. I'll show you what I was able to do with it, kind of on my first trial run, I guess you'll say, of it out in a more capable area. I mean, running around my house here in the city, there's nothing really to crawl over except for maybe a curb, and it does that very easily. So let me show you some video of this thing running out in the woods and up the dirt pile, and I'll be back with you here in a minute. Alright guys, so as you can see, very capable truck, especially if you're, like I said, if you're just getting into the sport. It's not a custom build, it's nothing super crazy, but if you want something on the lighter side, that's still capable of trail running and pretty decent rock crawling even. I've seen videos of some pretty technical stuff that people were able to take this truck on. And another thing I forgot to mention, all of the gearing in the portal axles and in the transmission is steel. The only plastic gear that I've found so far was the spur gear, which, like I said, I changed that out for the hot racing 45 tooth metal spur gear. It is loud when this thing's running now with the hobby wing, but I'm okay with it being louder. to being, for the gears to be metal and it to have a better overall function there. I really got to get this camera fixed. Sorry guys, I have no clue what's going on with the camera here, but that'll pretty much wrap it up for us here anyhow. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, any suggestions for the TRX4, definitely let me know. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time. Later.